Olá pessoal, bem-vindos de volta a mais um episódio de Final Fantasy XVI, aqui com o vosso Anakin. Vamos a Dalmácia caçar este Grimalkin. Ok, Dalmácia. Aqui anda já o tigre das covas.
Good girl.
Deixa lá ver. Tá. Aqui. Estão zoados. Fui eu. Nossa. Resultais. Ih. Claro. Vai ser aqui dentro? Bem, isto é alguma coisa, mas... aí está ele! Grimalkin! Bingo! Ok, tem que matar esses caras aí
Time
no
for the
meio.
pack, is it? Let me introduce you to mine.
E agora, querem?
Farewell.
Filha da punha!
You're finished. To me, Flame!
Pronto. E agora, vens?
And then there was one.
Ora anda, John Michael. Shit. Toma lá. Filha da punha.
Soil and stone!
Filha da punha.
Help me, boy.
Ah, não acaba mais. Toma lá. Tadão. E subir de nível. Nice. Holy Malkin.
That wasn't too bad, was it, Torgal?
Ok, agora vamos para o esconderijo. Redstone, nós chamamos, podes fazer esse calibre. Se não me engano. Eu vou ficar overpowered. Vamos ver.
Clive. So, what it be?
Yep.
scratches,
Dame. Eu sour.
And
Nice. Dito isto, vamos ver o que é que se passa com o Toro. Ó, Tums, o que é que nos tens para dizer?
Lawsman, I need to ask you about Torgal. Something's not right with him.
He isn't ill, is he?
I don't think so. But according to Lady Karen, he seems to have lost his appetite, which is certainly a new development. She says he's hardly been touching his bones of late, and she believes it may have something to do with what happened at Rosalith Castle.
I rather think she might be right, though not about his appetite. All canids are instinctively inclined to crack open bones for the rich marrow that resides within, and I see no reason why a frost wolf should be any different. Accordingly, I suspect it is not a lack of appetite that afflicts Torgal, but a surfeit of it. If we assume that his newfound magics require additional nourishment to sustain, it may well be that the bones Lady Karen is accustomed to providing are no longer sufficient. Frost wolves, after all, habitually prey upon far larger animals, whose bones may yield altogether different nutrients. As to where one might find a suitable substitute, some antelopes that graze the meadows of eastern Rosaria have been known to grow to a size more than double that of their lesser cousins.
I don't recall ever seeing any that large.
And little wonder. The oldest and largest such creatures rarely leave the safety of the highlands for fear of predators. The last elder antelope sighting I recall hearing about took place near Cressida, and that was long before the village was abandoned.
Even so, it seems like a good place to start.
Good hunting, Clive.
Ora lá então. Togo, vais ter uma nova comida. Vais ter uma nova delícia. Vamos caçar os animais para ti.
She had a man of Grega mopping their ground.
Please, teach me how to fight.
Abre-te.
If you're still here when my shift is over, I'll spar.
Aqui é. Com licença. Ora.
Yeah!
Anda, Togo. E aqui. Ah, sai, Minotauro, sai. Tem tempo para brincar contigo.
Well, it's certainly quiet. If I were a giant antelope, it would seem like just the place. I doubt we'll find one bigger than that. You hungry, Torgal?
Pessoal. Tá feito. Vai lá, Togo. Comidinha.
Now, will it be enough, I wonder?
Okay.
I say that answers my question. Which means we
Perfect.
owe the lawsman our thanks. You're just a big puppy, aren't you? A very big puppy. You do know you can take that with you, Torgal. Lady Karen will be relieved to hear you've got your appetite back. Come on, boy.
Ok. Volta. Esconderijo. Tadã.
I noticed you and Torgal had gone off somewhere. Take him for a walk, did you?
Yep.
You could say that.
Está feito. Já está melhor. A escala é fixe.
So, Molly's leftovers weren't good enough, eh? That'll teach me for treating you like you're still a pup. All right, no need to shout. Now we know what you're after, I can see about getting some in.
Speaking of which, I brought one for later. Can I leave it with you?
You can, aye. You're nice like that. In return, you can thank Tomes for me. The bloody know-it-all.
I was just on my way to see him.
E vamos lá falar com o Tomes.
Ah, Clive. Were you able to locate your quarry?
We were indeed, lawsman. You pointed us in exactly the right direction. And Torgal's been a very happy hound ever since.
Very good, very good.
Lady Karen sends her thanks, by the way, for your part in solving the mystery.
Ah. But that reminds me. After your last visit, I found myself pondering Torgal's talents. Do you recall our conversation concerning Lady Jill's role in Torgal's transformation?
Sim.
About how she somehow woke the power within him.
Precisely that. A reasonable conclusion, I thought, but one which raised certain questions in my mind. You see, the Fenrir of legend served Shiva and Shiva alone. And while the powers attributed to him are certainly impressive, the records imply they are somewhat different in nature to those you described Torgal as having used.
What are you suggesting?
That Torgal may be the beneficiary of more than one icon's power.
Escreve
Consider
tu.
that in addition to Lady Jill, he has served as a loyal companion to you, your brother, and even the late Cid. In short, the icons hitherto near at hand, or should I say at paw, have been diverse and plenty,
Sim.
and that number has only grown as the realm's dominance have fallen to your sword. One can but speculate as to how all of this has affected Torgal.
He has seemed more fierce of late.
And if I am not mistaken, he will grow fiercer still. We are fortunate indeed to be able to count him amongst our allies and not our adversaries.
Oh, he's more than an ally. He's a friend.
Ok. Boa missão. Tá. Aumenta levemente o ataque do touro. Já tá. Agora tinha mais um. Tinha mais um. E era aqui fora.
Ugh, I'm
O que é que eu quero?
Is that the thing Tomes helped with?
Mid told me she was building a ship.
Oh, peraí que eu ainda tenho recompensas para ver.
Welcome to the Patron's Whisper.
E dá-me cá mais prendas.
Is everything we've received and everything promised?
A grama do computador. Depois conseguiram amenizar o fado carregado por amaldiçoados pelo cristal. Mas para sobreviver à tempestade que virá, precisamos de um deputador irmão como você nos amigo do rincão.
You earned this. Best of luck out there, Sid.
E tu?
Clive, did you get my letter?
Sim.
That's why I'm here.
Shh. Otto might be listening.
Is this better?
A little. Listen, I've some bad news. It turns out the hideaway may be slightly behind in its payment to certain lenders, and it may be my fault. But I swear to the goddess, I thought I had the numbers square. Sadly,
Andaste nas
that
contas.
square turned out to be more of a circle. Zero, you might say. I can straighten it out, I swear, but it's going to take some time, and I'm going to need help keeping it from Otto.
Bit late for that, I'd say.
Já
There you
sabe.
are! What a surprise!
So let me get this straight. You forget to pay our lenders what they're due, and instead of coming straight to me, you get Clive to come to you. In the hope he'll dig you out of the hole you've dug for yourself. Clive, the man in charge of the place you've been cheerfully trying to bankrupt. And you thought this was a cunning plan. Why? Well, who needs paying?
Oh, just Martha. And the dame. And, well, Lady Karen.
Todos.
But only 500 talents.
We owe 3 of our most trusted friends 5 million gil.
Each. 5 million each. They lent us the bulk of the money we used to rebuild the hideaway, you see, and, well, I must have made some sort of oversight.
Those ledgers were my responsibility, and it was my decision to entrust them to you. This is my fault.
Do we have that much to hand? I can always ask my uncle.
No, we don't. And no, you won't. We've lightened Lord Rosfield's purse enough. After the king's ransom we had off him, he deserves better than to see our begging bowl. Besides, we'll need to learn to stand on our own if we're gonna make this work.
All right. But that doesn't mean you have to shoulder the burden yourself. Is there anything I can do to help?
There might be. How'd you fancy taking these to Martha and the dame?
Rocks.
Hey.
Rocks, he says. Worth 1,000 talents apiece, these are. A little something Sid and I set aside for when times got lean. And I reckon 15 million in overdue debt probably qualifies. I just hope our associates' eyes are a bit more discerning than yours.
I'm sure there will be.
Should be me making the rounds, really. But you know how it is with this place. Orders to bark,
Vamos
asses to
pagar
wipe,
as
and all
dívidas.
that.
I know. Which is why I don't mind going in your place.
Go. Do you know why I only gave Master Clive here 2 star rubies?
Because you'd rather Lady Karen killed me.
Because I'd rather Lady Karen killed you. Yes.
Well, I suppose this is goodbye then.
Don't worry. I'm sure Karen will understand.
Really? Do you think so?
No. I don't.
Ok. Bora pagar as dívidas então. Vamos começar por aqui. Vamos pagar as dívidas, ainda vamos ter que fazer um gravadinho, acho eu. Sei porquê. Basta, desculpa lá o pagamento tarde.
Clive, we weren't expecting you.
I wasn't expecting to be here, but it seems we still owe you a considerable amount of coin for your help with our rebuilding efforts. And though I doubt it's what you were expecting, we were hoping you'd take this as payment.
A star, Ruby? I can't accept this. It's worth at least twice what you owe me. More if you can find yourself the right buyer.
Think of the difference as interest.
Interest? If word got out I charged that much, no one would ever borrow from me again. Anyway, why are you the one here asking me about this? I'd have expected Otto. Bit much sending the Lord Marquis out to settle your debts, isn't it? The old goat working himself to death again.
Something like that. Most days I think he's the only reason the hideaway's still standing.
Same as always, eh? Back when the place was nothing but a twinkle in the eye of a recently retired Lord Commander, word is he was the first one Sid reached out to. Probably knew that without his strong arm and level head, the idea would never get off the ground. Sid may have been the face of the hideaway, but Otto's always been the backbone. And when Sid passed away, we were all worried that would be the end of it. That Otto would just give up.
His death was hard on everyone. But it must have hit Otto hardest of all.
But he didn't give up, did he? Quite the opposite, in fact. If I recall, he was the one who nominated you as Sid's replacement, and rallied the rest around you. I reckon what he saw in Sid, he saw in you too. And don't we all? Doesn't hurt that you're half as stubborn and twice as handsome, neither. That, and you keep good company.
I suppose I do.
Ok, nice. Este já está. Agora vamos à dama. Ick.
There's talk.
How the hell is anyone supposed to afford that?
Com licença.
Citizens are free to come and go as they please. Checkpoint's open to all. You'll find a little beyond Northridge, though. When the throne moves south, most with any sense followed.
Não há problema. Não vamos falar com a dama.
The gates to Heaven Hall in the area were breached by someone. Or something. The steward was in town earlier looking for men to come and repair it. But no one was keen to help.
I want to see you again tonight. But the captain's late with our pay.
It's all right. I'll be waiting.
Oh, aí está. Vamos ver só ver como é que... Ai, dá-me, não. Só ver as vistas. Não vale nada aquilo. Vai, oi. Vai que ele foi de escolher. Não. Olha, 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 olha. O que é que eu comprei? Abre-te. Sangue preto. Isabel.
Milady, I come bearing gifts.
Gifts? Whatever is the occasion.
Não, pagamentos. Volta.
Oh my. Clive, you really have outdone yourself.
Otto asked me to give it to you. To settle the hideaway's debt with the veil. And to compensate you for the time it took us to do so.
You disappoint me, Clive. I thought you might finally be warming to me. Tell Otto he can keep his baubles. I tried to tell him as much the first time around. The man owes me nothing. nor does the hideaway. My contribution to the restoration effort was made freely and willingly. It was the least I could do.
You once told me Sid did you a kindness.
Kijk voor je.
I'd like to do the same. Please, accept it. For my sake. And for Otto's. For all of us. For all you've done.
It is rather fetching, isn't it? Very well. Otto is lucky to have you, Clive. I doubt anything could ever replace his son. But you and the others at the hideaway are the closest thing he has to family.
Otto had a son.
Long ago, yes. Sid told me Otto lost him when he was just a boy.
Volta.
And blamed himself for not being able to stop it. I don't know how it happened, whether there was anything he could have done. But it was clear that it weighed heavily on him.
I didn't know.
How could you have? I doubt anyone did. Besides Sid, I've never met a man more keen to bear his sorrows in stoic silence. An ill habit, given that both have always been surrounded by friends desperate to help them.
I'm beginning to see that.
Okay, nice stuff, right?
Go will want to know the stones were delivered. If he's still with us.
Quando vejo, falávamos nós. Aqui.
Is that the thing Tomes helped to build?
Mid told me she was building a ship.
Calma. Já tá vivo.
Goat. Still alive, I see. So Lady Karen accepted the ruby.
Ah, about that. I tried my best, but she was just too stubborn to take it. She threw it right back in my face, in fact, and told me I could stick my stupid stone where the sun don't shine.
Karen refused payment.
I hope it wasn't something I said.
I'm sure you were as tactful as ever. Let me see what I can do.
Hey, vamos lá, falar.
Wonderful. I hope you have better luck than I did.
Vamos lá falar com o Kevin.
Lady Karen, Goad tells me you weren't happy with our offer. Would you prefer the debt was repaid in coin?
What debt? I don't recall lending any of you like me hard-earned gil. I may have tossed a talent or two in the hideaway's coffers, but those were donations, and you can hardly call it charity if you go asking for it back.
Of course not. But one good turn deserves another. And our circumstances have changed. Surely you wouldn't shun the gratitude of a pauper who happened to have become a prince.
Oh, so you're a prince now, are you? Fine. But I'm selling it and taking what I'm owed, then you're getting the rest whether you like it or not.
Vai lá então.
Where'd you even get this? A decent trader might nab 1,000 talents for a star ruby. A canny one, meanwhile, might claim it were nicked from the belt of Sid the Outlaw himself and ask twice as much. Might be I already have a buyer in mind. Might be you even know her. A fine continental maid whose beauty's only eclipsed by a guile in commerce. You wouldn't mind, would you?
Not at all. Just be sure to tell her that it's always a pleasure doing business.
Hey. Tá feito.
I hear you ended up delivering all 3 stones. Thanks to this lump. I sometimes wonder what I pay you for.
Speaking of which, I still haven't been paid last month's wages.
Oh! So you remember what's owed to you, then? Get your ass behind that disc of yours and don't get up before those ledgers are square.
Right away.
I've seen that before.
Yeah, yeah. Plenty of times. It was the only goblet Sid ever used. Either out of habit, or because the filthy sod couldn't be bothered to find a clean one.
I knew so little about him.
Like most people.
Martha and the Dame both seem to have fond memories of him.
I bet they do.
How long did you know Sid before he...
Before he died. 20 summers, give or take. Back in the day, I was a purser on a trade ship, which is where I met him. He bought passage to... I forget where. And having nothing better to do on the long nights, we set up drinking island rum till the morning bell dragged me back to my duties. Quit my post not long after that, on account of making a fine maiden's belly fat. But me and Sid stayed close, promising we'd one day sail the seas again. That was before fate stepped in and said she was having none of it. The magic woke inside my son soon after his first name day, and there was no hiding his knack.
Couldn't you and your family have...
My family were the ones who summoned the constable, wanted the monster taken away. I couldn't turn my back on him, forget what I felt, and I couldn't for the life of me understand how they could. Luckily, Sid was of the same mind as me.
E este é o problema do teu filho.
All I wanted was to tear the whole world down. Him, who cried for me when I had no tears left of my own. Him, who swore he'd do everything he could to stop it from happening again. And he was true to his word, too. Left the Royal Army once and for all. His ranks, his ribbons, gone. Just like that. Threw away everything he had. All to right a wrong that no one else had the courage to face. I knew then I'd follow that man to the ends of the earth.
Ah.
He was always too clever for his own good, was Sid. Saw the world for what it really was, while the rest of us were content to go along with the lie we were shown. And it can't have been easy, bearing that burden alone. But he didn't let it stop him. He never lost faith in what he believed was right. And that gave us faith in him. Faith he'd steer us true. So I swore to myself that I'd always be right behind him, ready to catch the stubborn sod, if ever he should fall. But I couldn't even do that. Ignore me, just the ramblings of a tired old man. Leave that lot. I'll tidy it up in a bit.
Oh. Carta.
This is Sid's handwriting. Dear Otto.
I may be drunk, But I wanted you to know, this place would be fucked without you. Love you, you grumpy old sod.
This note.
Hmm? What about it?
Sid was right. Without you, we'd all be lost.
He should have bloody well said so then. Just once. Before he went. But then, why would he? Him, or anyone? I'd only have told him to piss off. You're wrong, though. Both of you. It was never just me keeping the hideaway afloat. It was all of us. I just shoved people in the right direction. I barely seem to be able to do that anymore.
Would you rather go at the helm?
Well, maybe I've got a few more years left in me.
I'm going to hold you to that, Otto.
Before you go, Sid would have wanted you to have this.
Oh.
But that's...
This'll do me just fine. Thanks for the ray of sunshine. I'll see if I can't pay you back.
Already have.
Nice. E pronto, pessoal. E com isto ficamos por aqui neste episódio. Conhecemos um bocado da história do Cid e principalmente do Otto. Por isso espero que tenham gostado e a gente vê-se no próximo. Chronic e fui!